Thank you guys for tuning into Spiritual Beauty Ministry. So the word that God has placed upon my spirit is goodbye. Goodbye. God is saying that you have outgrown you, but you are around people, places, and things that's keeping you in you. You're around people, places, and things that's keeping you in you. And God is saying that these things have outgrown you. Now, my nephew, he had on this sweater today, okay? And where I'm at, the weather has changed, and now it's kind of a little bit chilly. And so the sweater he had put on was a sweater that he used to be able to fit last year. And now this sweater is like, it's way up here, and his ankle, his arm is out. And you can tell that he can't fit this sweater, but he's still rocking it, okay? And so it just like how his arms were forced out of that sweater, like his arms were forced out of the sleeve, okay? His arm was forced out of the sleeve. God is also about to force you out of where you're not supposed to be. God is about to force you out of where you're not supposed to be. Just like how my nephew's arms were forced out of his sleeves. God's about to force you out of the places that you no longer are supposed to be. Okay. God is saying that he is forcing his hands and he is moving you out of the comfort that you have been in. God is forcing his hands and he is moving you out of the comfort that you have been in. It's not going. God wants you to know that it's not going because you are growing. Okay. There are things to where you all of a sudden, people are saying, you know what, this ain't working. Relationships ending. All of a sudden, the job assignment and it didn't go through. All of a sudden, there are the things that's just all of a sudden that's just like, what in the world? Like all of a sudden you living with somebody and they say, you know what, this ain't working no more. You got to find you somewhere else to stay. All of a sudden, what you have been with all of this time, God has now brought an end to. All that you have been with all of this time, God has now brought an end to, because God is bringing an end to it, because God is bringing an end to you. God is bringing an end to you so he can do new beginnings through you. God is bringing an end to you so he can do new beginnings through you. Like I said, when my nephew had that sweater on, he can no longer fit it. Even though he put it on his body, but in the day, his arm, it's outgrown through the sleeve. Like you can't change what's evident. It's just like a puzzle piece. You're trying to fit into a puzzle and be something. And God said, you just can't fit there no more. It just doesn't fit. You have outgrown it. The enemy wants you to think that. He wants you to think that where you are is where you should always stay. This is what you should always do. And this is like God is saying, no, you have outgrown these things that's around you. You have outgrown these things that's around you. And God wants you to know that, like, once again, it's not going because you are growing. It's not growing because you are growing. You can't fit where you used to be because God is changing your seed. You cannot fit where you used to be because God is changing your seed. And God is also saying that you can no longer walk in that version of you. You can no longer walk in that version of you. God wants you to know that he is closing the doors, not to send you back, but to walk you into a new you that awaits. He is closing doors, not to send you back, but to walk you into the new you that awaits. And like I said, it could be relationships. It can be a job. It can be a place. It could be a school. Whatever, a church, whatever it may be. God is saying that you have outgrown it. You have outgrown it, and that is not the place no longer as you're supposed to be. God is sending helping hands to help you bring forth the next you that you are called to walk in. God is sending helping hands to help bring forth the next you in the new you that he is calling you to walk in. God does not want you to fear to go because of what you don't see, because of what you don't have. God wants you to know that even when you find yourself looking at what you don't have, God wants you to know that there is something inside you that you do hold. And the only way for you to access what you do hold is that he has to remove you from the things that you know. He has to remove you from the things that you know, because the things that you know are keeping you from your growth. The things that you know, not in a sense of no, in a sense where it's adding to you, but these things that you know are taken from you. Things that you know could be, the way your family moved. Everybody did this way, so you think you gotta do it this way. God said he's changing what you know. He's changing what you know so that you can grow. Okay, so that you can grow. And then also, this is so crazy. I was cleaning out my garage. It just all of a sudden I just started cleaning out my garage, and there is this created space that's just available now. I'm like, wow, this is so much space that's open, and I didn't understand like why I all of a sudden had to the urge to just clean up the garage. I also have the urge to clean out my closet. And it's like now all this space is made. And it's just like God wants to know that He's creating space, okay? There are some things that have been taking up space. There are some people, there are some things that you've been doing. There are some things that the you that you've been, it has been taking up space. And God needs to remove it out of your way so that you can step into who you're supposed to be, so that you can step into where He's calling you. So it's like there are the things that's taking up space. That relationship is taking up space. That habit is taking up space. That addiction is taking up space. There are things that are taking up space in you. And God said, I need to remove it away from you and out of you so that you can walk all the way in you. He wants you walking all of you. And so He has to create space. He has to create space in you. So there are going to be people that God's going to remove out your life. There are going to be things that God's going to begin to remove you from, because God said it is time for you to become. Until next time, you guys be blessed. Thank you for tuning in to Spiritual Beauty Ministry.